If you're starting a YouTube channel in 2021, you need to watch this video, period. Hey guys, welcome back. Man, I'm actually so excited to just sit down and have this conversation with you guys right now. Today I'm going to be telling you literally everything you need to know about starting a YouTube channel in 2021. I'm honestly just going to give you like my honest, unfiltered advice. Like if you're starting a YouTube channel in 2021, you need to watch this video, period. So I'm going to start by telling you a bit about like why I started and how how you can start like literally right now. And I'll put like an overall structure up on the screen of what this video is going to be so you can know like what tea I'm going to spill. So I started my YouTube channel in November of 2019, but I didn't start posting consistently until April 2020 when quarantine hit. I feel like so many people started in April of 2020, but I started because back in the day, like 2013, I used to talk on Snapchat stories all the time. Like I was obsessed. Like a day wouldn't go by when I didn't talk on Snapchat stories. I just loved talking to the camera. I really felt like when I spoke to the camera, I was talking to and hanging out with a friend. And I stopped doing Snapchat stories around like probably 2014, 15. And it honestly wasn't until 2018 when I moved to Canada that I realized that I really missed it. Like I missed not only filming, but also feeling like I was always hanging out with a friend, just like talking and sharing my experiences. And I also just wanted to have the footage of being like overseas, living in Canada. And also at the time I had this calling of like, hey, not only could I have this footage for myself to look at, but I could also make footage that could educate and like inspire people to move overseas. So that honestly is why I started. How I started, I literally just posted a video, and that is like my biggest, most honest advice on how to start. Like you just have to start. Your first video will probably suck, just being honest. I'll put in a clip of like one of my first videos. Hello everyone, it's Beth. You can just see I'm so awkward, I'm so uncomfortable, I'm just super nervous, and that is pretty much what your first video is gonna be. But like anything in life, any skill, the more you do it, the better you'll get. And also another thing that I keep reading, that I keep thinking about now, is the platform is never going to be as saturated as it is now. Okay, so now I feel like you're gonna be like, okay, so I just need to start, I just need to film a video, post it, but like what videos do I make? And I think when it comes to finding your niche and figuring out what videos you want to make, you need to think about why you want to be on YouTube. So for me, like I told you guys before, I wanted to have a YouTube channel because I miss talking on camera. I wanted to have all this footage of being overseas, and I wanted to educate and inspire other people to move as well. So from that, I was like, okay, I need to make day in the life vlogs of living in Canada, travel vlogs of traveling around Canada, but then also like sit down videos, how I moved, why I moved, things I wish I knew before I moved. So you really just need to think about why you're starting, but also think about what you like to watch. Because if you spend 99% of your time like watching makeup videos and makeup tutorials, and you do that thing where like you're getting ready in the mirror and you're like, hey guys, like welcome back to my channel, then you probably need to make makeup videos. You really just need to make videos that you like and you enjoy making, because trust me, your audience will see straight through it. If you're not enjoying it and you're not being like your authentic self, your audience will see straight through it. A lot of people I feel like will tell you, oh, make searchable content, like you need to make searchable content. And like, you do, and I'm gonna talk more about making searchable content and growing your channel later. But I feel like honestly the best advice for when you're starting and you're like, what video do I make? Is literally make whatever the you want, and make something that makes you happy and fulfills you. Because you could make like the most searchable content ever. You could always show up and search like, and just get like 100,000 followers and make that kind of content that always shows up. But like if you're like doing it, like what is the point of having all those followers? What is the point of making those videos? It's just like, what is the point? If you don't love what you're doing, growth doesn't matter. Like, you need to love what you're doing first. And like, I'm not just saying that, honestly, trust me, because I focused so hard at the start on my analytics. I would get so worked up on whether I was making the right content, you know, am I getting found? Is my audience retention good? Do people like me? And I honestly just wasn't doing well. And I don't mean just on YouTube. I wasn't doing well mentally either. It's just not healthy to only want to grow and to like be famous and blow up. Like, you just need to love what you're doing. I know I've said it like 5,000 times, but it's honestly so important. But we'll get into growth soon. Like, don't worry, I'm gonna teach you how to grow. Like, don't worry. Okay, so you're gonna start. You're like, I know what videos I want to make. Like, I know my niche. Like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. But like, what equipment do I use? My biggest thing, like my biggest piece of advice, the honest as truth, having the best equipment will not make you the best YouTuber. Like, period. Like, 100% the honest truth. Do not invest in equipment. Don't buy a camera, don't buy editing software, ring lights, tripods, any of that stuff until you know that this is something that you want to invest in and that you love to do. Because can you imagine spending like $1,000 on a camera, or like, I don't know, $3,000 on like the best equipment, and then like 2 months later being like, I actually hate this? Like, that would suck so much. I would hate that for you, so just do not do that. I have been posting consistently on YouTube since April, so like nine months, and I still film with my iPhone. It films in 4K, like, it films fine. The iPhones these days are amazing. So honestly, just start with what you've got. When I started, guys, I literally filmed with my iPhone 7, so there's that. And I would edit on my like 2010 model of Mac that would like sound like this every time I edited. It would be like, but I didn't know if this was something I was gonna want to pursue, so I didn't want to invest. Now I have a better MacBook, thank God, and I have a tripod, ring light, I've upgraded to Final Cut Pro, but I started with what I had. Also, starting with what you have will literally make you a better YouTuber in the long run. Like, when I used to edit, I started off with iMovie on my Mac, and I always wanted my videos to look like they'd been edited in Final Cut Pro. And so I would learn iMovie. Like, I would figure out, like, how do I get this edit? How do I do this? How do I do this? And that made me feel like I'm an iMovie pro now. Like, give me a video to edit on iMovie. I've got it. I'll edit it for you. I am so passionate on the fact that you will become a better YouTuber by starting with what you've got. That just trust me on it. Okay, so you love making YouTube videos, you know your niche, you know what videos you're gonna make, you've got all your equipment. Now you're probably like, okay, how do I grow? How do I grow my channel? And like I touched on before, you grow by being found. And you be found? Yeah, you'd be found by making searchable content. So essentially, YouTube is a search engine, and you are found by showing up under what people are searching for. So one of my first videos that ever popped off, and I mean popped off in like a small YouTuber sense, it only has 2,000 views, but coming from someone who's a small content creator, like 2,000 views is amazing. And that video was titled How I Moved to Canada. And the reason that popped off is because people were searching, how do I move to Canada? How to move to Canada? And I'm giving them an answer. I'm saying, hey, this is how I did it. This is how I moved to Canada. So you're probably thinking now, okay, like, you gave the answer to the question, cool. What if 1,000 people give the answer to the question? Like, how do I show up in search? Like, how is my video the #1 answer to their question? And that is through something called SEO, which stands for search engine optimization. I honestly am not even gonna get into that in this video. And the main reason for that is because I am so passionate that if you are starting a YouTube channel in 2021, you need to focus on making sure that you love the content you're making and you love yourself before you even think about getting into like SEO and growing. But I did want to bring it up because what I want you to do is think about how you can make searchable content within your niche. I'll give you an example of mine because I feel like that is probably the best way to explain this. Like I said before, I was going to make Canada sit down videos. One question that that people are always searching and people want to know the answer to is what to know before moving to Canada. What video am I going to make? What you need to know before moving to Canada. What I wish I knew. What I would do differently. Because people want to know the answer to that. So think about definitely what you can do within your niche, but just focus on loving your niche and loving yourself first. Another really important thing with growing is consistency, and I'm going to talk about consistency in two ways. So I'm going to talk about branding and I'm going to talk about posting. I'm going to talk about branding first because I have struggled with branding so much, so I feel like I can give you some like real honest truths and advice on how to do it because I've been through it. Like, I'm going through it. So basically with your branding, what you want is consistency. You basically want it so that when your video pops up on YouTube, people go, that's a Beth Gould video. I think the best way to find out what kind of branding you want to do is honestly like surrounding yourself by inspiration. So go on Pinterest and kind of find what aesthetic you like. Find other YouTube creators that you like the style of and not copy, but kind of take inspiration from that. Find thumbnails that you would click on. Find thumbnails that you're like, I love that so much. And then roll with that. Keep it consistent because that will help so much. If you don't know what aesthetic you like, you're like, oh my God, I don't know. I like this thumbnail. I like this thumbnail. Don't worry so much. Just like try out a bunch of different ones and see which one you like, which is 100% what I've done. I mean, like if you know what you want from the start, amazing, great. Like that's going to be awesome. But I know some of you guys watching this will be like, okay, I have like 27 different aesthetics that I like and personalities. Just try a bunch of different ones until you find the one that you like. But when you know the one that you like, man, stick with it. So the other part of consistency I want to talk about is posting. Posting consistently is key. Not only does the YouTube algorithm love it, but your audience needs to know that you're going to show up for them, that they can trust you to always be posting at a certain time and just honestly just showing up for them. Basically, period, T, whatever. So the best way to kind of ensure that you're posting consistently is to have a posting schedule. I highly recommend making yourself a posting schedule. Last year, I made sure that I posted every single Sunday at 6 p.m. And not only did that help keep me accountable, every week I knew I had to get a video out by then, but it also allowed me to build a trust with my audience, and my audience knew Beth's gonna post a video this Sunday. Beth always posts a video at Sunday at 6 p.m. One quote that I'm focusing on this year, and I really just want to share it with you guys because I think it's so powerful and important, is you don't need to be extreme. You think I would get it right? You don't need to be extreme, you just need to be consistent. So you don't need to post 5 videos a week. I mean, if you can, awesome, great, that's amazing. I cannot, no thank you. But you do need to be consistent. My biggest thing for growth, like the hard truth, like the honest hard truth, like how do I grow? You need to love the audience that you have already. Stop focusing so much on I need to get more people watching, I need a bigger audience, I need more people, and start really like connecting and building relationships with the people that already follow you and already subscribe and watch your content. Reply to every comment. Reply to every comment with meaningful things too. If someone asks a question, answer it. Build a really good relationship. My biggest thing, actually, I know I've said my biggest thing 1,000 times, but honestly, build a friendship with your audience. Look at them less as an audience and more as friends, as real people, because they're real people who have subscribed to you and want to follow your life and watch your content. Really connect with who you have, because that will keep them coming back. And you could have like 10,000 subscribers, but none of them could comment or like or even watch your stuff because they don't feel like they can trust you. So be consistent in your posting and your branding and love your audience that you already have. Don't even call them an audience, call them friends. Call them friends. Oh my gosh, if you think of your audience as friends instead of an audience, you're done. You don't need me. You've got this. Okay, I literally feel like I've been speaking for so long, but I asked you guys on Instagram to send me through any questions about being a small YouTuber, growing YouTuber, basically just like ask me anything YouTube related. So I'm gonna answer a bunch of questions. Like I said before, I film with my phone, so I can't like bring Instagram up. I wrote down the questions. But I'm manifesting this out of a G7X Mark III right now. So like by the end of the year when I do a Q&A, I'm gonna have my phone and be like, What's most important in the early stages in your opinion? Honestly, making videos that make you happy and fulfill you, that you love. Like, you need to love the fact that you make YouTube videos and be in love with the videos you make. On top of that, like I just touched on, connecting with your audience, replying to every comment, building relationships, making people want to come back and watch your stuff. Like that, oof. You need to do that. Oh my God, this question. How long did it take you to feel comfortable on camera? I'll let you know when I am. Honestly, I go through phases. Like, some days I'll turn on the camera and I feel like I could talk for hours. I'm comfortable. I feel like, you know, we're just best friends and we're hanging out. And then there's other days where I wake up, I'll go to vlog and I'll just be like I can't do it. But like I said, the more you do this, like the more that you film, the better you will get. Like, sometimes I think I haven't grown and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so uncomfortable on camera. And then I go back and watch one of my first ever videos and I'm like, okay, I've grown. Is it important to have a niche and why? I'm so torn on this one. Okay, I'm gonna go with this. Yes, I think it is important to have a niche. And the way I like to think of it is, imagine you always go to this bookstore. You're like, I can always go to this bookstore. I know I'm gonna get a book. And you just keep going back because you know what you're gonna get. And then one day you go to the bookstore and it's a vegetable store. And you're like, what the like, what? I don't want a vegetable. Like, I came here to get a book. That is how it is if you don't have a niche. People don't know what to expect from you. And when people don't know what to expect from you, they're likely to not come back. So that is like why I think it is important to have a niche. But if you don't know your niche yet, that is okay. Like, I really want to emphasize that. The ultimate goal, I think, if I'm being real, is to have yourself as a niche, right? Like, you watch big YouTubers and they don't really have a niche. It's the fact that their personality is their niche. So focus more on just being yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Focus more on just being like 100% authentically you. Don't focus too hard on everything else. Where can I get copyright-free music from? So I use a website called Thematic. They are completely free and it is where you will find probably every song that you've heard on like every YouTuber's videos. It is such a good site. I also use Epidemic Sound, but that one is like $15 a month. So if you're just starting a channel, go with Thematic and then just like upgrade whenever you want to invest. If you want to, I mean, Thematic's got some bops, like you're fine just using them. Do you think having a following on IG helped? Yes, 100%. Because when I did any cross promotion, I could bring people from my Instagram to my YouTube. And I think the reason I have a I have a bigger following on Instagram was because I started on Snapchat. So I brought people from there to Instagram and Instagram to YouTube. So yeah, I definitely think it did help, but I didn't have like this massive like 100,000K audience. I wasn't just like set from the beginning, if that like makes sense, but yeah, 100% it helps. So if you do start a YouTube channel, definitely don't be afraid to cross promote. Like, promote the shit out of yourself on all of your platforms because you are the shit. Okay, so like, don't be afraid to do that. How do you get such an engaged audience? By thinking that my audience isn't an audience. Period. Like, just treating you guys as friends because you are my friends. You're my best friends. So if you're thinking and wondering like, how do I get an engaged audience? How do I get people to care? How do I get people to want to watch my stuff? Don't think of who you're talking to as a camera or an audience. Think of it like your friends. Just treat the camera like a friend, honestly. And care for your friends. Like, when your friends comment back. Have you ever felt like quitting? Not quitting. I've definitely had times where I felt overwhelmed. Like, this is my first video back of 2021. I took a week off at the end of last year because I was feeling overwhelmed and I felt a little bit like I was filming but I wasn't loving it. So I definitely have times where I'm like, okay, I think I need a break, like anything, but I've never felt like quitting. Favorite thing about YouTube? Okay, like my favorite thing, honestly, is when you guys will DM me and be like, your videos have inspired me to move to Canada, or your videos helped me get through quarantine. One girl was like, I've been in quarantine for 2 weeks and I've been watching your videos and it feels like I'm hanging out with a friend. That is my favorite thing, like being able to, one, inspire people to live the life that they want, quitting their jobs, moving to Canada, like fulfilling their dreams. And two, just also being able to make so many friendships. Like I've made so many friendships with not only people who watch my videos, you guys, but also with other creators. And that is just the best thing. Like nothing makes me happier than making new friends and helping people. Like they are my two favorite things. Put it together, this platform. That is the best thing about YouTube. I don't care about like honestly having heaps of subscribers or heaps of views. I mean, that stuff's great, but the best thing is just being able to inspire and help and making new friends. Does that sound cliche? Kind of sounds like something your parents would say, and when you're 12, you'd listen and be like, but it's the truth. Have you done any brand deals? No, not yet. Oh, I had one brand send me some stuff and then I like made a Instagram reel for them. Oh, I have. It hasn't been posted yet. But I haven't done a lot of brand deals. That is one of my goals for this year. I will say though, I have turned down a lot of stuff, and the reason I've done that is because I didn't think it was a good fit for me and my brand. So if you're starting a YouTube channel and you have brands reach out to you, really think about whether it's the right fit, because your audience / friends trust is absolutely everything, and you like don't promote something you don't love that is not authentic. Your audience will see straight through it. They're not going to trust you. They're not going to want to watch you, and just like don't be that bitch. Like don't be that friend who's like, oh my god, like this dress would be perfect for you, babe. Like, oh my god, drink this tea, you're gonna love it. Like, unless you actually love it. Okay, last one. What were your main difficulties / concerns when you started / how did you overcome them? My biggest difficulty, I guess, is something that I still struggle with, and that is just having confidence. I am one of those people who doesn't have a lot of confidence. It's literally like one of my biggest goals for this year. But I will constantly tell myself, you're not good enough, like no one's gonna watch your stuff, like no one cares about you, you're not helpful, and just like a lot of self-doubt. That's the biggest thing I have on here. Also just suffering from like imposter syndrome, that's a thing. But honestly, like the thing that I struggle with the most is self-doubt, but the thing that keeps me going is honestly you guys. Like I was saying, DMs about the fact that I've helped you, or you know, you felt like you were hanging out with a friend. Like that's what reminds me that I'm not a piece of shit. Like it's all in my head, and that I want to keep showing up for you guys, and I love doing this. So that's the biggest difficulty that I had, and in terms of overcoming them, it's just a like, I don't know how to say how to overcome it, because I think I'm constantly doing it, but just have that confidence. You are that bitch. Like know your worth. Just do it. I feel like I sound like I'm sponsored by Nike, but you honestly just have to go for it and just believe in yourself. Anyway, I love you guys. Wow, I feel like we just had like the best conversation ever, but I am going to go because it has been 35 minutes. Anyway, I love you guys. If you've watched this far and haven't subscribed, I mean, like, you may as well subscribe. May as well. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Fuck. Down, yeah. I've been feeling so